Welcome back to Double Play Baseball. My name is Jack Smith, and in today's video, I'm going to be ranking the top 30 right fielders in Major League Baseball from the worst to the best. If that sounds interesting to you, make sure to go down below and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and the notification bell, and leave a comment what you thought of the list at the end. But without further ado, this list is about right fielders. Let's get into it. In my opinion, the 30th best right fielder in Major League Baseball is going to be Randal Grichuk of the Colorado Rockies. Now, Grichuk's had some high points in his career so far, but the last two seasons just haven't been it. In 290 games since 2021, Grichuk has a 714 OPS, an 86 WRC+, a WAR in the negatives, and only one out above average. In 2022, he had an 88 WRC+, hit 19 homers, 73 RBIs, but overall, he's just on the downturn of his career in Colorado. He comes in at number 30. In the 29th spot, that's going to be Edward Olivares of the Kansas City Royals. Olivares, as a rookie last year, played 53 games and had a 743 OPS, a 110 WRC+, and a .4 WAR. He hit 4 home runs, had 15 RBIs, was a slightly below average defender out in right field. So what was a promising rookie season for Olivares, I just have to mark down a little bit because of the small sample size, so I have him here at number 29. Heading out to our nation's capital for number 28, that's Lane Thomas of the Washington Nationals. In 223 games over the last two seasons, Thomas has a 720 OPS, a 99 WRC+, 1.6 WAR with 24 home runs and 80 RBIs. He's a poor defender and really just a below average hitter, and while he's found a home in Washington, I have to rank him here at number 28. Coming in at number 27 is Gavin Sheets of the Chicago White Sox. In 178 career games for Sheets, he has a 743 OPS, a 107 WRC+, .5 WAR, and -7 outs above average. On top of that, he's added 26 home runs and 87 RBIs, and for me, that fits right in that White Sox mold. He's an above average hitter and a below average to bad defender, and for me, that gets him to the 27th spot. At number 26, I've got Jake Fraley of the Cincinnati Reds. In 146 games since 2021, Fraley has a 767 OPS, a 115 WRC+, 1.8 WAR, but he's been a bad defender out in right field. On top of those numbers, he's got 21 home runs across that sample size with 64 RBIs and 14 stolen bases. The inflation of his offensive numbers due to his home field in Cincinnati and his inability to play defense in right field limits where I can rank Fraley. He's at number 26. But coming in at the number 25 spot, that's going to be Avisail Garcia from the Miami Marlins. It's really been a tale of two seasons for Garcia. In 2021, he was really good. He had an 820 OPS, a 116 WRC+, he hit 29 home runs, and had 2.8 WAR out in right field, being an above-average defender. But in 2022, his first season in Miami, he missed some time and finished with a 583 OPS, a 66 WRC+, -0.6 WAR, and only hit 8 home runs. It was really a terrible season for his first year after getting a big deal in Miami. I want to balance him out a little bit, but if I were to guess, Garcia's a little bit skewed more towards that bad season than the good season. I don't think we're ever going to see him have an 820 OPS again. I think he's somewhere in the low to mid 700s for OPS, and for me, that limits where I can rank him, so I have to put him right here at number 25. At number 24, I put Manuel Margot of the Tampa Bay Rays. In 214 games over the last two seasons, Margot has a 697 OPS, a perfectly league average 100 WRC+. He's got 4 WAR, and he's 5th in outs above average with 7 at the right field position. Unfortunately for Margot, he just simply doesn't have much power. He's not a very good hitter. Pretty much strictly average. He's only hit 14 home runs over the last 214 games, and he only played half the season last year. Some people may prefer defense to offense, but for me at right field, a position where there are so many good hitters, it's hard to rank someone who is just right there at league average, much higher, especially when they missed half the season last year. So I've got Margot at number 24. Coming in the 23 hole, that's going to be Jack Suwinski of the Pittsburgh Pirates. In 106 career games in a rookie season last year, Suwinski has a 709 OPS, a 100 WRC+, 1.8 WAR, and hit 19 home runs. He's above average defender in right field, and he walked at a pretty impressive 11% clip for his rookie year. It was a productive first season for Suwinski out in Pittsburgh, and in a lineup that has seen some improvements. He could potentially take a leap up this year. Until I see that happen and until he proves that he can be an above average hitter as opposed to just strictly having a 100 WRC+, which is completely league average, I have to rank him right here at 23. Coming in at number 22 is going to be a sneaky player. That's Tyrone Taylor of the Milwaukee Brewers. Now, Taylor has been surprisingly productive in his last two seasons in Milwaukee. In those 213 games, he has a 748 OPS, a 104 WRC+, 3.4 WAR, and is one of the better defenders in right field with 10 outs above average. He's got 29 home runs, 94 RBIs, and 9 stolen bases over that stretch. You pair an average to above average hitter with a great defender out in right field, and that earns you the 22 spot. Tyrone Taylor sneaking in from Milwaukee. Got another rookie at number 21, that's Jake McCarthy of the Arizona Diamondbacks. In 123 career games, McCarthy has a 758 OPS, a 112 WRC+, 2.6 WAR, while being a slightly below average defender in right field. On top of that, he's added 10 home runs, but 26 stolen bases as part of a promising young core of Diamondbacks outfielders go along with Corbin Carroll and Alek Thomas. Jake McCarthy is one of the reasons that the Diamondbacks were okay trading away Dalton Varsho, who was high at the top of my left fielders list, and I think that he shows some promise for his second year in Arizona. I'm ranking him just outside the top 20 here at number 21. Starting off the top 20 is going to be Oscar Gonzalez of the Cleveland Guardians. In 91 career games, Gonzalez has a 788 OPS, a 122 WRC+, 1.6 WAR, 11 home runs, 43 RBIs, and the best walk-up song in baseball, the SpongeBob SquarePants theme song. He's a below-average defender in right field, doesn't really walk at all, but showed some potential with the bat in his rookie season, including that electric walk-off home run against the Rays to send Cleveland to the ALDS. Oscar Gonzalez had a productive rookie season, and I'm hoping that he can take a step up in his second year in this Guardians lineup. I've got him right here starting off the top 20. At number 19, a tough player to rank, that's Ramon Laureano of the Oakland Athletics. In 182 games over the last two seasons, Laureano has a 711 OPS, a 104 WRC+, 2.8 WAR, but is surprisingly a below-average defender despite one of the craziest arm talents in the league. Across the last couple seasons, he's missed some time due to injuries and a steroid suspension, but I think he looks to bounce back this year. Across those last 182 games, he's also added 27 home runs, 92 RBIs, and 23 stolen bases. Laureano is a great talent. He's gotten swept up in a couple issues and mistakes, but I think he can bounce back this year in Athletics uniform. I've got him here at 19. Another player who's missed some time due to injury, that's Austin Meadows of the Detroit Tigers. In 178 games over the last two seasons, Meadows has a 753 OPS, a 110 WRC+, 1.4 WAR, and -2 outs above average. He only played in 36 games after being traded from Tampa Bay to Detroit last year, but across these last two seasons where he's played pretty much one full season, he's got 27 home runs, 117 RBIs, and he's stolen 4 bases. Meadows proved in Tampa Bay that he could be an above-average hitter while being just slightly below average on defense, and I hope that we can see a healthy season from him in Detroit this year as the Tigers look to rebuild and push back in the standings. Coming in at number 17, a surprising fan favorite, that's Alex Verdugo of the Boston Red Sox. Now, everyone in our TikTok comments was surprised that I wasn't ranking Verdugo in left field, and they thought he should have been in the top 10 at either position, but I only have Alex Verdugo here at number 17 because in 298 games over the last two seasons, he's been pretty much average. A 754 OPS, 105 WRC+, 3.1 WAR, but a -11 outs above average in left field, making him one of the worst defenders in baseball. In 2022, again, average, a 103 WRC+, 1.2 WAR, only hit 11 home runs in 152 games. If you're barely average as a hitter and you're one of the worst defenders in baseball, I have to rank you in the bottom half of these right field rankings. That's why Alex Verdugo's here at 17. Right above Verdugo, another AL East right fielder, that's Anthony Santander of the Baltimore Orioles. In 262 games the last two seasons, Santander has a 751 OPS, a 109 WRC+, 2.9 WAR, with -4 outs above average in right field. In 2022, he stepped it up to a whole nother level, with a 773 OPS, a 120 WRC+, while also hitting 33 home runs. Santander's had a productive last couple seasons in Baltimore, and his ability to be slightly below average as a defender, but come on strong with the bat in 2022, raises him above Verdugo in my eyes. I have him here at 16. What a disappointing fall for Philadelphia Phillies right fielder Nick Castellanos. He comes in at number 15. In 274 games over the last two seasons, Castellanos has an 817 OPS, 117 WRC+, a 2.8 WAR, and you may ask, okay, why is he here at 14 then? He simply imploded in 2021. A 694 OPS, 94 WRC+, -0.7 WAR. He only hit 13 home runs, and he is the single worst defender in Major League Baseball with a league-low 19 outs above average across the last two seasons. For me, you cannot be the league's worst defender and a below-average hitter being paid that much money in Philadelphia. I had to drop Nick Castellanos. I hope he bounces back this year, and I think he definitely can, but with how bad he was in 2022, I have to rank him here at number 15. Completely different case at the number 14 spot, that's Max Kepler of the Minnesota Twins. Now, while Nick Castellanos was a below-average hitter, but also the worst defender in baseball, Max Kepler is one of the best defenders in baseball. His 20 outs above average of the right field position leads right field by double the second-place finisher. His 20 are way ahead of any other contenders, and while he has been slightly below average with the bat the last couple of seasons with a 694 OPS and a 96 WRC+, the reason I have him above Castellanos is because if you're both going to be below-average hitters in baseball, I'm going to take the one that's the best defender at the given position with 20 outs above average, as opposed to Castellanos, who's the worst at -19. Kepler did have a 122 OPS in 2019, so there is some hope that his bat can return back to being dangerous, but at the worst, he is the best defender in right field and just barely a below average hitter. He comes in at number 14. In the 13 slot, I've got Seiya Suzuki of the Chicago Cubs. In 111 MLB games after coming over from Japan last year, Suzuki had a 769 OPS, 116 WRC+, 2 WAR, with 14 home runs and 9 stolen bases. It normally takes a season to adjust after coming over from Japan, so 2023 will be telling for Suzuki, but we know he has that talent. He showed it the first couple months in Chicago where he looked like a Rookie of the Year lock. He struggled a bit towards the back half of the season, but it does take some time to adjust after coming over from another country, so we'll see whether Seiya Suzuki can step it up in 2023, but he was good enough in 2022 to earn the 13th spot. In the 12th spot, I have former USC Trojan and the single best name in baseball, that's Lars Nootbaar of the St. Louis Cardinals. In 108 games as a rookie last year, Nootbaar had a 788 OPS, 125 WRC+, 2.7 WAR, while hitting 14 home runs and walking at a crazy 14.7% rate as a rookie. He's an average defender in the outfield, but a promising young bat with one of the best arms in right field as well. Nootbaar ticks all the baseball savant boxes, he hits all the peripheral stats, and I believe that he can take an even higher step up in St. Louis. I think they have found something in Lars Nootbaar in right field. I've got him right here at number 12. Just missing out on the top 10, I have Adolis Garcia of the Texas Rangers. In 305 games since 2021, Garcia has a 748 OPS, a 105 WRC+, 7.1 WAR with 3 outs above average. In 2022, he stepped his hitting up to a slightly above average level with a 112 WRC+, 27 home runs, 101 RBIs, and 25 stolen bases. The peripheral stats are not as kind to Adolis Garcia, but if you're putting up a season where you're above average hitter, you hit almost 30 home runs, have 100 RBIs, steal 25 bases, I find it hard to drop you down the list if your peripheral stats are not as great. Adolis Garcia has had a productive MLB career so far, and I think he looks to do the same this season in Texas. I have him just missing out on the top 10 at number 11. But starting off the top 10 is going to be newly acquired San Francisco Giant, Mitch Haniger. In 214 games of the last 2 seasons, Haniger has a 786 OPS, 119 WRC+, 3.3 WAR, with one of the best arms in right field. Now, Haniger has missed some time over the last couple of seasons, only played 57 games in 2022, and had a 113 WRC+, but if you look back to 2021, he had 39 home runs, got one of the best arms in the league. He's proven he can be a well above average hitter before. The Giants took a gamble on him, and so am I, putting him here at number 10. In the number 9 spot, this may surprise some people, but I'm going Hunter Renfroe of the Los Angeles Angels. In 269 games over the last 2 seasons, Renfroe has an 811 OPS, a 118 WRC+, with 4.9 WAR. In 2022, he had a 124 WRC+, with 72 RBIs, and he's hit 60 home runs since the start of 2021. Now, even I didn't know that Renfroe has been this good over the last couple seasons, and while I've been pretty critical of the Angels offseason, this is one move that I think they hit on. I think Hunter Renfroe definitely deserves to be in the top 10. I've got him right here at number 9. Now, these next 8 players absolutely separate themselves, and they're the reason that people consider right field to be the best position in Major League Baseball. Starting it off at number 8, I have Teoscar Hernandez, the newly acquired Seattle Mariner. In 274 games over the last 2 seasons, Teoscar Hernandez has an 840 OPS, a 131 WRC+, 6.7 WAR, and in 2022, another well above average season with a 129 WRC+. I think the Seattle Mariners got an absolute stud in Teoscar Hernandez. He'll pair well with Julio Rodriguez in the outfield, and he is one of the best right fielders in baseball, slotting in at number 8. At number 7, I'm going Starling Marte of the New York Mets. In 238 games over the last 2 seasons, Marte has an 828 OPS, 135 WRC+, 8.5 WAR, while stealing 65 bases. In 2022, his first season with the New York Mets, he had a 136 WRC+, 16 home runs, 63 RBIs, 3 WAR, and Marte, you just know what you're going to get with him. He's a consistent stud out in the outfield. I've got him at number 7. At number 6, making the switch over to right field from center field, that's going to be George Springer of the Toronto Blue Jays. In 211 games over the last 2 seasons, Springer has an 848 OPS, 135 WRC+, 6.7 WAR with 4 outs above average. That was in center field as well. In 2022, he had a 132 WRC+, hit 25 home runs. The former Astro and now current Blue Jay has always been one of the best outfielders in the game and has continued to be in Toronto north of the border. I've got him as the number 6 right fielder in Major League Baseball. In the 5 hole, I'm going with Kyle Tucker of the Houston Astros. Tucker continues to be underrated for the level of player that he is. In 290 games over the last 2 seasons, he has an 870 OPS, 137 WRC+, a crazy 9.3 WAR with 6 outs above average in right field. In 2022, he went off with 30 home runs, 25 stolen bases, over 100 RBI, and had the third most WAR at the right field position. Kyle Tucker is going to contend for an MVP one of these years and showed off the power in the World Series. He's one of the best players in baseball, just missed out on my top 25 overall players list, but he's one in a long line of great right fielders in the MLB right now. At number 4, a player who dropped slightly over the last couple of years, that's going to be Ronald Acuna Jr. of the Atlanta Braves. With injuries and a disappointing 2022, Acuna can't pass some of the other studs I have above him on this list, but there's no question that he is one of the best players in baseball. In 201 games over the last 2 seasons, Acuna has an 852 OPS, 131 WRC+, 6.5 WAR with 39 home runs, 46 stolen bases, and in 2022, even in a down year, had a 114 WRC+, and a 764 OPS. Before injury in 2021, he was on an MVP campaign, and I have no doubt that he will return to that form in 2023. Ronald Acuna Jr. is too good to be this low on the list. Expect him to just continue to contend for MVPs and World Series for the rest of his career. At number 3, another player that was hard to rank, I'm going Fernando Tatis Jr., the new right fielder for the San Diego Padres. Now, Tatis, the former shortstop, who we all know and maybe don't love, is a really weird player to rank due to the injuries he's had, some of the steroid scandals, position switching, and overall lack of games played over the last couple seasons. But when he has played, he's been a top 5 player in the league, regardless of position, easily. A 963 OPS and a 155 WRC+ since 2020 for Tatis, but he's only played in 189 games. If he sees the field this year, it will be in the outfield. He'll have to finish serving the last little bit of his suspension at the start of 2023, but after that, he'll slot into the right field spot for the Padres, and I just expect him to go off like he always does. I have Fernando Tatis as the 3rd best right fielder in Major League Baseball. Coming in at number 2, let's head out to Los Angeles for Mookie Betts of the Dodgers. In 264 games the last 2 seasons, Betts has an 865 OPS, 138 WRC+, 10.4 WAR, and is top 10 in outs above average at the right field position. In 2022, which even I thought was a down year, like many, he had an 873 OPS, a 144 WRC+, 6.6 WAR, while hitting 35 home runs. He could have contended for an MVP any other year, but some of the guys at the top of that National League list were just too good. He's always in the conversation for being a top 10 player. He's an absolute stud, one of the best hitters in baseball, one of the best defenders in baseball, a great base runner. Mookie Betts is clearly one of the best right fielders in baseball, but I have to keep him right here at number 2. Because coming in at the number 1 spot, and no doubt choice, the reigning AL MVP, Aaron Judge of the New York Yankees. By all accounts, Judge's 2022 season was one of the best that the sport has ever seen. A 1,111 OPS, 207 WRC+, 11.4 WAR, an AL record 62 home runs with 131 RBI and 16 stolen bases, while splitting time between right field and center field despite being 6'7". Judge is absolutely insane. He's got nearly 17 WAR and an OPS over 1,000 in 305 games since 2021, and he is one of, if not the best player in Major League Baseball. When we did our top 25 rankings, I had Judge as the 3rd best player in baseball, but if he has another season even close to what he did last year, he might rise up to that number 1 spot to compete with Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout. Aaron Judge, who's now going to be the New York Yankee captain for probably the rest of his career, is the no doubt choice for the number 1 right fielder in Major League Baseball. This is the one that I've put the least question into. When I started out my rankings, he was right there at the top with absolutely no challenge. Aaron Judge is insane and the best right fielder in the league. That's going to be it for my ranking of the top 30 right fielders in Major League Baseball. Let me know what you thought down in the comment section below, and while you're down there, leave a like, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, check out all the rest of the rankings, which are in the playlist linked in our description and right up here somewhere. I don't know where I put it, but it's going to be somewhere up there. Make sure you guys are checking us out on social media, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. We're on everything, and we want to hear from you guys. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I've been Jack Smith for Double Play Baseball. We will see you next time.